It's that time of year again, turkey time. So I'm gonna be doing a 15-pound turkey, and this time I'm gonna be doing it a little different than I've done in the past. I'm not just gonna spatchcock the turkey, I'm gonna halve the turkey, meaning we're gonna have 2 halves of turkey. The reason I'm doing that will become clear as we're out at the grill tomorrow, because we're gonna season this up today after we break it down. So here is our turkey, 15 pounds. Now this is just a standard butterball turkey. And one of the things you wanna look at when you're buying a turkey is what have they already done to it? If you read on the label of the packaging, a lot of times it'll tell you if they've used injections or other sort of solutions. And this does have a solution that it was in, so we're not gonna be brining this overnight. It already has a solution in it. We're gonna be doing a dry brine overnight to get a lot of great flavor on the outside and absorb a little into the meat. So first thing we have to do to break this down into halves is we kind of have to spatchcock it first, which is removing the spine and getting it flat. So let's turn it over. So I have my poultry shears here, and here's our spine, and I'm just gonna follow this along. If you don't have poultry shears, a good kitchen knife will work. I've seen people use pruning shears that they buy like at Home Depot and just use it for turkeys or chickens. You can go down here if you need to and start up at the bottom. You can see this turkey is pretty fresh because there's still a hunk of ice in it. Yeah, I just thawed this out, so it is just perfect right now. So now we need to go along the other side of the spine. And if you're making turkey soup, save this spine. This is great to make turkey stock, along with any leftover bones and meat that you have from eating turkey. Get a knife if you need to, cut the rest of the way out. So there is our spine, and like I said, this is great for stock. Don't throw it away. Freeze it if you're not gonna make the turkey soup or turkey stock right then, because this is great. Now, one thing before we flip this over that we're gonna do is to try and get this a little easier to spatchcock is this bone right here, kind of like where the wishbone is. If you just go along the sides and then press from here a little bit, now it's gonna be easier to press down fully. There we go. You can just kind of feel that extra crack there. Now, because we're gonna have this, I wanna score along the breastbone here. You can see part of it's separating right there. Now, if you want to, you can completely take out this breastbone, or you can leave it attached to half. I'm gonna leave it attached to half. That's easy, it works fine. Get your shears. Just wanna stay as close as we can here so we have a good separation. You can come up under through the skin. And there we go, 1 turkey half, 2 turkey halves. Now there is some excess skin along here. You can see I'm gonna go ahead and trim some of this up. If you wanna leave it, you can, but I'm just gonna trim it. Same thing on this half, just a little excess skin. There we go. I'm gonna transfer these to a dry sheet so we can go ahead and season them up without all this liquid. So I'm gonna be using one of my favorite barbecue rubs on this turkey today, and that's Big Papa's Hallelujah Jalapeno Bacon Rub. Now I'm gonna turn this over first and get the inside. If any little bits are still there, we can pull those off. And I'm just gonna start hitting this. And you might be asking, well, what grill are you gonna use? What smoker are you gonna use tomorrow? I'll surprise you. You'll find that out when we head out there. Turn our bird over. Let's get the inside of the wings. And we can tuck this wing under here just to keep it out of the way. And if you'll notice on my shaker, I have a wrap. I did a video about that. I'm wrapping it with a press and seal, sort of a cling wrap. Makes it easy to rub things like this where you're gonna be touching it with both your hands, and that way you don't contaminate the shaker, don't have to clean it off, especially when you're talking about poultry. That is looking good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this onto a tray on a rack, and I'm gonna do the same with the other turkey half so that they're gonna have that time overnight to sit up off of the tray so there's no juice collecting on the bottom of them. Want the skin to air dry a little bit. That helps so it's not so rubbery. And then tomorrow, I'll see you out at the grill. So the Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24 pellet grill is up to temp. My temperature today is 275 degrees and I'm gonna be at smoke level 4. I'm using a mixture of hickory and charwood pellets. Let's go ahead and get our turkey on. Just so you know, the pellet grill has a fan and I processed the audio out. So this is what it sounds like processed out. And this is what it sounds like without the sound of the fan processed out. But now let's go ahead and get some temperature probes in the turkey breasts. That's good placement. Both of these are fresh out of the refrigerator. I like to keep my turkeys very cold just before they go on the grill. But let's get this closed up and get smoking. Now the temperature I'm gonna pull these at today depends on how both parts of the turkey are doing, the breast and the thighs, the leg quarters. The breasts I wanna pull right before they hit 160. I have the target temp set to 158 degrees on the ThermoWorks Smoke X4. At 158, I'll start moving over there to get the breasts off. At 160, they'll still rise to 165, that safe internal temperature for poultry. If the thighs, though, are still about 165 or not there yet, I want to keep those going until they're 175 to 180. And so that's one reason I decided to do this in halves, because I can remove those leg quarters very easily at that point if I need to. And then they can continue on cooking until they get to the temperature that I want. Now, when we get somewhere around 120, 130 degrees, we're going to baste this with some herbed butter. So I'll see you back here when it's time to baste this bird. All right, we're coming up on 120 degrees and I'm deciding to baste at this point, not a little later at 130, because we're getting a temperature separation between the two halves. The one on the left seems to be cooking quicker, about 10 degrees higher than the one on the right. The breast portion seems a little thinner, so that's understandable. You can also have hotter spots in the pellet grill. So let's go ahead and baste this now. And what I'm using is some melted butter and just, I don't know, a tablespoon or so of a citrusy garlic seasoning from Trader Joe's. Really just use your favorite seasoning mixed in with some melted butter here. Those are looking good. Just want to sort of dab this on. That skin is feeling nice, not rubbery at all. Let's do a quick temp check on the thighs here. The thighs are running 132 here. That's about 10 degrees ahead of that one. This side it's running about 140, which is good too. So if those thigh temperatures hold, we're gonna be able to pull these in halves, not have to separate the leg quarters from the breast. So let's get it closed up and we'll wait until about that 158, 160 to check these again, and then we'll pull them. All right, our one turkey half just hit 158 degrees in the breast. Let's go ahead and check the thighs. That thigh is showing 162 degrees. That's gonna continue to climb. I'm gonna put that in a foil pan, cover it with foil. It's gonna rest for 20 to 30 minutes. The temperature will slowly rise to that 165 in the breast and beyond for the thighs. And then as soon as our other half reaches that 158 and the thighs high enough, I'll pull that too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the one half off of here now, and I'll see you inside when they're both done. So here is one of our turkey halves. This is actually the one that finished first. This took just slightly over 2 hours to finish. The other half took about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and they both came out the same in terms of temperature internal when I pulled them. So let's cut into this and see how we did. I'm gonna take a little breast meat, a little thigh meat, and it just looks terrific and smells great. Let me turn this, and I'm gonna slice into our breast right here. See if I can get a slice out of here. Oh, that looks nice. Let me get another slice. And we'll just cut this end piece off here. I'm actually gonna get some right here with a full piece of skin on there, because that skin looks really good with that seasoning. Oh, That is looking good, nice and juicy. But now let's get some thigh meat here. I'm gonna separate the leg quarter. See if we get a minor juicelanche. We're just gonna go right along here. Oh, that looks good. Now I'm just gonna dive into tasting here. I'm gonna go with some of the breast meat first. I've got a piece with a lot of that skin on there. That flavor is terrific. The skin is bite through, it's not rubbery. It's not crispy like if you deep fried the turkey, but man, is it good. I love that Big Papa's Hallelujah Jalapeno Bacon Rub. Just gives it a nice little kick to it, not too much heat. And that citrusy garlic butter basting at the end, nice touch. And now for some of our dark meat, the thigh meat, here we go. I've said it many times, I will always choose the thigh meat, that dark meat from a turkey or a chicken over the breast meat. I just love it. It holds so much juice, so much fat, and it just gives you intense flavor there when you season it nicely like this. Absolutely happy with this.